Another unique challenge lies ahead for the 42 DeWalt Cup Series drivers as they take on the fictional Vermont International Speedway. This 1.45-mile racetrack is an odd one for racing, with a tri-oval on the backstretch and very different characteristics for each corner these drivers will go through. Will the points battle continue to tighten up, or will one of the top point contenders find their way to the front and stay there? It's the Old Spice 400 from Vermont. All the action is next on JRTV. Welcome everyone to the 12th race of the DeWalt Cup Series 2025 season. I'm Joe Rakowski. Great to have Trey Bartle back with me in the booth after missing last race at New Hampshire. But Trey, here we are, another fictional racetrack just like a few weeks ago in Boston. It's a very unique one for these drivers to try and get around. So what do you think we're going to see here today in this 56-lap race?
I don't know if I can answer that, Joe, because I don't even know what I expect to see here today. It's a unique track. It almost looks like the front stretch here has a weird bump into it. If you're looking at it right now, I don't understand that. But you know, the nice thing is the view. I mean, it's pretty.
Yeah, Vermont's a gorgeous state, and we're seeing that right here with where this racetrack is located. The mountains, the forests, all the stuff around this racetrack. It just adds to the characteristics of it. But there's a lot of people in this race that probably have never heard of Vermont, never seen a race at Vermont. That's the uniqueness of the DeWalt Cup Series. We're going to very, very strange racetracks, and this is one of them. There are some drivers that probably do know and do remember this racetrack. If you're back from the Gatorade Cup Series, Target Series, Pennzoil Truck Series days, you know this racetrack because we used it a few seasons, and at the time it could be a chaotic race. We'll see how that goes here today. It's weird. So as mentioned, the tri-oval is on the backstretch. So the backstretch is actually curved, more like a front stretch would be at a normal intermediate. That means the front stretch completely straight, completely, you don't have to make a turn at all down the front stretch. Then the unique corners, turns 1 and 2, you want to be on the bottom for sure. But through turns 3 and 4, the outside could work a little bit better most of the time. There are some instances where the guy on the bottom will be able to make the pass. But otherwise, the top of 3 and 4 is key to getting through that one in the fastest manner. And all that, Trey, to mention, there's also a lot of tire fall off here. These tires will wear out severely over the course of a full fuel run.
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch these guys try to maneuver it throughout the race here. As long as we stay at green flag, I think the strategy will come into play. But we always think that we're going to get a long green flag run, Joe, and then something ends up happening on the track that we're all surprised about, and that's always thrown out the window. So we'll have to see what all develops here.
Yeah, and there's no real trouble spot on this racetrack. Trouble can happen anywhere. It can happen on the front stretch, happen in turn 1, off turn 2, through 3 and 4. We'll just have to see how it plays out here today. If we do have any trouble, maybe it could go caution-free as well. There's a lot that could happen here today at Vermont. It's going to be a fascinating race to watch, and we'll see how it plays out. And this is an important race for some drivers because this is the final race before we get to the All-Star race, which is the race where if you win that one, you're automatically locked into the chase no matter your points position. As we stand right now, 9 drivers have won races through the first 11 races. Those 9 drivers are in the All-Star race. There is a big battle, though, for around 5th in points, which is where some drivers don't have wins. They're on the cusp of being in or being out. Nathan Stapleton is 4th in points. Doesn't have a win yet this season, but he has 5 top 5s, 7 top 10s. He's currently in the top 5 in points, and he's a pretty good distance in front of the guys that are behind trying to catch up. He has 24 points over 6th place. So if he just has a good run today, maybe he wins today, he's in the All-Star race, even though he might not have a win. If he's inside the top 5 in points without a victory, you're in the All-Star race. The big thing is looking at 5th, 6th, 7th in points. 5th place Jack Haas has a win earlier this season. He's in the All-Star race no matter what. But 6th and 7th in points, Max Davis, Riley Spurley-Tube are trying to get up in. Right now, Max Davis is 14 points behind Jack Haas. Riley Spurley-Tube not that far back as well. He's 19 points back. If those two can somehow jump their way up, one of those two or both of those two jump their way up inside the top 5 in points, even if they don't have a victory, they can be in the All-Star race. For Spurley-Tube, he starts in 3rd, could be a good day for him to try and get that victory. Max Davis starts back at 12th place, Nathan Stapleton starts 10th, and Jack Haas nowhere to be seen at the front of the field. He had a poor qualifying result, so we'll have to see how that plays out, how that plays into trying to make it into the All-Star race or not. And then obviously, if you don't make it in after this race, there are the top 3 finishers in the All-Star Open that also make it into the All-Star race. We'll quickly take a look at our top 5 stars before we get going. Philip Torres is on pole for Otter Island Motorsports, and this is a driver who's really been coming into his own as of late this season, and had a fast car last race in New Hampshire, but didn't have the strategy right to get him a race victory or get him a good result. So we'll see if they can get some redemption here this week in Vermont. Chris Jericho, to his outside, has been fast as of late as well. He's had the fastest car in some races this season. Think back to Texas, think back to Kansas, think to Boston. He had one of the fastest cars, but none of them resulted in even a top 10 result. He finally got the first top 10 last race at New Hampshire with a 9th place finish. We'll see if he can carry that momentum to another great result here in Vermont. Riley Tube could have had a good result last race as well, but pit strategy didn't go his way, just like Philip Torres. Tube ended up outside the top 10 finishers, but has a good qualifying result, and his team owner Evan Hunter's home track. So we'll have to see if he can bring Evan Hunter a race victory at the home track. Laura Chung, 2 wins this season. They've both been dominant showings at Phoenix and New Hampshire. She won by 5+ seconds last race at New Hampshire, moved her up to second in points, within 3 points of Jerry Chen's points. We'll see if she can get down to the bottom, keep that track position, and maybe go for her 3rd win this season. And the biggest surprise of qualifying is Tyler Belladonna for Fitzwater Australia Racing, rounding out the top 5, a team that has been just kind of plagued with bad luck this season. They've been involved in a lot of crashes, a lot of DNFs, a lot of torn up race cars, and Belladonna starts up at the front, has that track position. The question is, can he hold it, or will that car not be good enough to be able to hold it, and he'll drive back through the field? Only time will tell with that, and we'll have to see how it plays out for Belladonna and Fitzwater's team here today at the Vermont International Speedway. So Trey, get to our predictions. So far this season, we have been oh so close with each other. Our averages are within a position still, and last race it was a close one, but Nathan Stapleton, my pick, just beat your pick, Lathan Strickland, by a few positions. So you get to go first here today at Vermont. Who are you taking to win the Old Spice 400 here at the Vermont International Speedway?
Taking a guy starting P10. You know, I know it might not be, the best starting spot, with considering we don't know how this track's going to go, how this race is going to go, but I think that number 75 of Nathan Stapleton's going to go out here and finish really strong, and not to mention his team. They're all starting inside the top 10, and this guy is the farthest back. So, I mean, if that goes to show you anything, they got strong cars, and I know Stapleton does not want to finish last of his teammates here today. You
can never count against an Otter Island Motorsports car, and I think lately they've shown some great speed no matter where they've gone. Stapleton obviously has shown speed no matter where he's gone. He's up inside the top 5 in points. That's a good pick to win, and I'm going just below you, Trey. I'm taking this number 27, Gabe Willard, for Southern Cross Racing. David Dixon's team is another team that's been very strong, but they've been very strong in these intermediate-style racetracks. They won at Texas with Jerry Chen. Gabe Willard won at Kansas himself. So I think 9th place starting spot. He has the track position. He has the inside lane for the start. I think Gabe Willard's going to victory lane here today at Vermont. Let's see which of those two of our picks finishes higher. Maybe one of them can get the victory lane here today in the Old Spice 400. This is a unique racetrack, as mentioned, 1.45 miles, so not quite a mile and a half long. Field window will be something to watch out for, 29 to about 33 laps or so. So let's see how that plays out for the drivers and teams on pit road. Down the straight, front straight, as it's Philip Torres for Otter Island Motorsports to the inside of Chris Jericho for Toussaint Racing. They come down the long front stretch to take the green flag. We're underway in the 12th race of the season, the Old Spice 400 from Vermont. Good jump for the guys on the inside, and Riley Sprint, who wants the lead through turns 3 and 4 base. Down low, you can see the run on the outside for Jericho and Torres. They are trying to get clear as they're 3 wide further back. Matt Took is on the outside. Martinelli in the middle. Jericho with a nice push from Laura Chung. Torres leads the first lap. Caution flag is out. They've crashed on the front straight.
Oh. Little synchronized spinning going on here, Joe.
That was Ryan Wilson, Cam Wright Jr., and maybe some others caught up as well. You can see Jacob Miller has some damage on that number 95. Noah Brady, Angel Gutierrez were around the scene of the crash as well. But if that's all that really happened, Trey, I think all those cars are fine to continue on, even up to speed.
Yeah, nothing a little hammer can't fix, you know what I mean? As
Oh. Is Philip Torres
is this
hitting?
Planned, or is this a problem?
And if this is strategy really took him out of...
Where's Chris Jericho going?
Yeah, I don't know. Chris Jericho passed the pace car. I think he didn't know what the 77 was doing. He's going to let the pace car go before they get to the line. If not, that's a penalty. But
I just saw he was like 20 car lengths ahead of everyone else. But, yeah, this is he is a lone wolf here, Joe.
Yeah, strategy really took him out of the game at New Hampshire. He played the wrong strategy, came down pit road, lost the track position from the lead, just like today, and he never recovered. And here, you don't really have an advantage coming down. You have 1 lap on your tires. Now, if there's no stop sign, he gets fuel here, and the pack was so spread out, he's just going to go where he merges, which isn't all that far back because the field was so spread out. He might still be around the top 10, so he does lose track position, but it's not going to be as much as it could have been, I don't believe, because he should get his spot back, or his spot where he came off pit road because of how spread out the field was.
Interesting. Well, we'll have to see how it plays out here. The 3 cars that were involved in that incident, and
they're all near each other, right? They're pit stalls.
Yeah. Interesting how that worked out, isn't it?
Yeah, that's strange. Those 3395 had a little bit less damage, looks like, than the 48, but they're all going to leave pit road, and everyone's going to stay on the lead lap. So some interesting strategy. Philip Torres from the lead comes down early, just takes fuel. He's out and away behind about probably 10, 12 race cars. It's going to be Jericho with the lead. We'll go check out what happened, though. Caution flag is out for the first time. About 3 or 4 cars get collected on the front stretch on lap number 1.
Well, you mentioned there's no real trouble spot here, Joe, but there's a trouble situation, and that is 4 wide does not seem to work here, and unfortunately it's going to be the 48 or Ryan Wilson getting the worst part of it here, as coming off of turn 4, you can see them behind him just making contact. He's going to get turned head on into the inside wall here and make decent contact with it. Nothing that's going to hurt too bad. You can see other shenanigans going on in the back. William Seaman almost getting collected yet again in another incident here, as the 33 and 48 is going to slowly slide through the front stretch here, and they're going to continue on as we saw them go down pit road and get that damage fixed and come right back out on the lead lap.
Yeah, so 4 wide, it was 2 Fitzwater cars that were kind of banging off each other and trying to give each other room, and that's what caught Ryan Wilson around, and then Cam Wright Jr. also got Jacob Miller involved. Those were the 3 cars that got damaged. Noah Brady, maybe some slight damage, but everyone's going to be able to continue on here at Vermont. And here's one more look coming off turn number 4. 4 wide with Cam Wright Jr., Noah Brady, then Wilson. And then Cam Wright goes up and gets Jacob Miller in the 95 as well. Gutierrez did a great job along with Bruno Diacomo and all the rest of the guys, either slowing down to avoid it or just gassing it up to get through the hole that was there before it closed up. And only 3 cars get some sort of damage in this one. It's Cam Wright Jr., Jacob Miller, and Ryan Wilson. Well, the caution flag came out. Philip Torres had the lead, but he decided to come in at pit road, loses a good bit of track position, and now it's going to be Chris Jericho for Tucson Racing leading here in the Old Spice 400 at the Vermont International Speedway. Coming back to the green flag after an early caution here at Vermont, it'll be on lap number 6. It's Chris Jericho with the lead after Philip Torres gave it up due to pit strategy. So it's going to be Jericho leading, Laura Chung down in 2nd, Riley Spiritu 3rd, Tyler Belladonna is now 4th, and Matthew Burnett up to the top 5. Matt Tuck is in 6th, Martinelli down to 7th, Stapleton 8th, Wheeler 9th, and Levi Shones in 10th. Max Davis 11th, Keegan Thompson 12th. They've stayed out. Philip Torres from the lead came in, but the field was so spread out trying to get going, he drops to 13th, so he loses 12 spots, but it could have been a lot worse if the field was all together. So let's see how that works for Torres. He only has 1 lap more of fuel, so I don't really know how this is going to work for him. I don't know what the strategy was there, and there was no apparent issues on the 77. All 42 cars are still left running in this race. No one has DNF'd. Wilson, Miller, and Cam Wright Jr. came down pit road. They repaired their damage. They're back 40th, 41st, and 42nd. There you see them. They look pretty good, Trey. Good job to the crews there.
Yeah, I think they'll be able to be up to speed perfectly fine. The biggest worry I have is at 48, but we'll have to see what happens.
Yes, we will, as they come down the front straight to see the green flag on lap number 6. There's all the skid marks from the first accident of the day. Jericho for Tucson Racing. Lordson looking for back-to-back wins as we're back going at Vermont. Nice jump for Jericho. Got about a car length between himself and Laura Chung heading down to turn 1, so he'll be fine for now. The question is, does Chung get the run through 1 and 2 using some draft up the backstretch to maybe make a move into turn 3 and 4. You can see Matt Tuckey used the apron a little bit there to get his car to turn, going for a top 5 spot on Matthew Burnett, but Burnett got a great run off of turn 2. The front 3 stayed together as they race off into turn 3 and 4. Chung behind Jericho with Riley Sprigg. See how low they're getting, trying to protect off the white line. Chung even using the white line.
Hey, I mean, if it's on the track surface, Joe, it works, right? This ain't no super speedway. You're allowed to use whatever you want.
And here goes Lord Chung looking out for the lead. Didn't have a run to make it work into turns 1 and 2. I do want to bring up, 2 cars that were damaged at the back are coming back in. Jacob Miller, Ryan Wilson. Maybe they didn't repair the damage as best as they could. As here comes Chung again, but she might give the top to Riley Sprigg into turns 3 and 4. We'll see if that works for Riley here, as Chung couldn't get low on Chris Jericho, but she does do a great job keeping Riley Sprigg at bay. In fact, gaining big time at Jericho off turn number 4.
I'll have to see what she can do with this run. Looking to the inside. Not know if she has the momentum. Doesn't seem like it. Spurley Tube's going to try to make a move on the outside of her. going in the 1 and 2. We'll see if he can get this one completed, but Jericho's holding strong out front.
Yes, he is. Nathan Stipton, he's making big moves in that 75. Once again, using the apron of the racetrack to his advantage as Lord Chung again wants the lead. Jericho, at the moment, has a whole pack of cars behind him kind of stacked up, but Lord Chung just can't find the place to make it work. Brasford can't use the top to his advantage. Well, maybe now he can, as he stays up top of Lord Chung as they come off turn 4. Can he use the draft from Jericho? See right there, I think Matthew Burnett was kind of out of control off turn 4. Kept his car saved, though. And now they're side by side for a second, but Chung once again has the inside into turns 1 and 2. Swertube can't do anything but drop back behind the front 2 for now. As Chung again is going to go for the lead off turn 2 on Jericho. This time she might have the run and the draft from Matt Tuck to make it work into turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, it looked like Jericho has a fast car to stay out front, but not a fast car to really string everyone out, as he's now being put up top 3 wide here. He's got to be careful on the exit not to get in anyone here, as he's now on the outside of Stapleton, who's middle of 3 wide. They're going to get that sorted out and go right back to down 2 wide, Joe, but Jericho goes from leading to 5th place in a matter of 2 corners.
And someone you do not want to have out in front is Laura Chung. She's gotten out front this season. She's been able to pull away. The question is, can she do that today at an intermediate track? She's shown her best strengths at the shorter tracks, the tracks that require more grip stuff rather than horsepower, stuff like that. See right there, she couldn't get off turn 2 well. Matt Tuck gets to her, but no closer. He gets a little tight through 3 and 4, and here comes his teammate Max Davis forcing hold to the inside as the pack is really spread out. There might have been a caution. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Ryan Wilson again. William Steeman involved in another one.
This was a big, big crash, Trey. Look at all of the cars.
This is like 10 cars, 15 cars.
Caution flag out, lap 11. Laura Chung with the lead. That happened off turn 2, it looks like. And as you mentioned, William Seaman again involved in the crash. Noah Brady involved. Angel Gutierrez, Johnny Cox, just like Seaman, has been involved in so many straight accidents, and all of them are done. Joshua Cox, Mathis Wells, Ryan Wilson again. And now here comes Laura Chung. They can't make it from here, but tire wear is significant enough that this could make a difference if you take tires. But she, just like her teammate Phil Torres, the first caution is one of only a few. Jericho's going to come in as well, but it is a lonely pit road again.
Interesting. Bryce Egan's going to come down. I think these guys might have been involved in the incident, so they're going to come down and get some damage repaired. As wow, this is a lot of cars.
Yes, it is.
Is that Philip Torres?
That's
Philip
not
Torres.
Good. Yep. That strategy did not work out. He lost the track position, and he got involved in the crash.
Well, we'll have to see what she does. Looks like she's probably going to go for all 4 tires. I think would be the smart move, which is going to give her a lot of grip on this restart here, but she'll have to make up all the track position that she lost. Never mind, only right sides.
Okay, so 2 tires for Laura Chung and Chris Jericho. Yeah, I was with you. I thought they would have taken 4, trying to at least maximize, but looks like everyone that's been down pit road is just taking those 2
A long
tires.
time up on that right side for that 18.
Yeah, I think he had some damage over there that they were attending to. He may have been involved in it. But so Laura Chung's going to come off with 2 tires. It's going to be behind, once again, a good amount of cars that have stayed out in the racetrack. They can't make it from here, and they're deciding not to give up the track position, because we just saw what happened. Philip Torres gave up the track position. He's now out of the Old Spice 400. So they'll check out what happened. Caution flag number 2 out just after the 10th lap. A major crash off turn 2 has taken out a lot of contenders.
Oh, you can see here the 27 to Gabe Willard thought he was clear, but unfortunately he was not. Matthew Burnett was on his inside here, and they're just gonna get connected, Joe, and it almost seems like they just can't get unconnected here. And the 20 of Roberto Crown Jr. is gonna be added to the party here as he turns around Matthew Burnett. He's gonna slide up into your pole sitter, Philip Torres, into the wall, Joe, and this is where it gets worse because Burnett's gonna come right back down the track into the way of the 99 here, and hold your breath because that's a fallacious hit. As the 99 is actually going to go upside down and roll over. Once you see it in the background, the 77 also gets a little bit of airtime here as we have a true track blocker wreck here, Joe, as we're going to collect a whole bunch of other cars here. The 57, the 00, the 33 is going to get involved in it yet again, as you can see some other guys in the background also spinning and trying to avoid it. Joe, this is big, as see the 95. Apparently, he just said he wanted to be a part of it, too, because he had plenty of time to slow down there, but just decided not to. Yeah. Oh, same thing with the 48 of Ryan Wilson here. He also had plenty of time, and I just don't know.
He was having a bad day. He wanted to put himself out of misery, I guess. I don't exactly know what happened there.
I don't know. Well?
Yeah, but
How many cars do you think that was, Joe?
yeah, as you mentioned, there were a lot of cars involved in that. You have to think about 15 got some sort of damage, if not more. I mean, that was, and it happened towards the front of the field. That was the big issue. That was around 10th place. Whole pack is coming towards you. They're all spread out, and that's the end result. So we'll go take a look one more time at full speed to catch everything that occurred here in this big crash off turn 2. And one more view as Gabe Willard crowns Matthew Burnett. Crown Jr. can't lift in time. Spinning Matthew Burnett into Torres. Here comes Joshua Cox. A huge hit in the background, even more big hits. Philip Torres got hit numerous times in this crash, and as you can see, so many cars involved, and a lot of these drivers were drivers that have already had some terrible luck. Lathan Strickland, one of those drivers that's fighting for the top 10 in points. He had a great result at New Hampshire. It's going to take him out of the top 10. It looks like even Philip Torres was on the cusp of the top 10, might take him out of it, and a whole bunch of cars collected in this one. Well, Laura Chung, just like her teammate Philip Torres, decides to play some different strategy. She comes down, she takes 2 tires on the pit stop under the caution flag. That leaves the lead in the hand of Matt Tuck in the number 11. He'll look to win his first race of 2025, but a lot still have to play out in the Old Spice 400 here at the Vermont International Speedway. Back here cleaning up the major accident off turn 2. About 10-12 cars have been put to the garage and done for the day, as it's Matt Tuck leading on strategy in the number 11. Ryan Wilson is out, along with Angel Gutierrez, Noah Brady, Mathis Wells, Johnny Cox again. I think this is now the 4th straight race. Joe Hendry, so that's all 3 Crispy Fry Race Adventure cars that are out and finished 37th or lower here today. Joshua Cox is out. Philip Torres from pole, leading early on. That pit strategy hurts him, hampers him. Matthew Burnett has had some bad luck. Then Drew Webb and Tegan Fox as well. Jacob Miller stayed in it, but he's a lap down, and Lathan Strickland, his teammate, also still in it with a lot of damage in the 91. Ludovic Schratt at the back along with Zidell. Cars that pitted. Laura Chung first, all the way back in 19th. Chris Jericho right with her in 20th. We'll see how they can do and if there are any damaged cars in front of them that they have to get by. So it's Matt Tuck, Max Davis, Riley Spurley-Tube, then Jude Martinelli, Levi Shones, Nathan Stapleton, Tyler Belladonna, Keegan Thompson, Gabe Willard, and Roberto Crown Jr. the top 10. The points leader, Jerry Chen, up to 11th by staying out. So we'll have to see if this stays green. Those guys that pit have about 10 more laps of field. We'll see if that plays into it. Green flag, and Matt Tuck just left teammate Max Davis on the restart.
All right, Joe, we lost about half our field. It's going to be a nice, smooth, clean race from here on out, right?
Who knows, Trey? Who knows what could happen? I mean, you're going to have now some split strategy, so there are drivers back here that want to go, like Laura Chung and Chris Jericho. Looks like they'll a little bit slower in the 55, and Jericho's going to try and use that 55 to maybe get by Laura Chung and be the first guy on 2 tires, and we'll see how big those 2 tires come into a play. Obviously, it was only about 10 green flag laps, not even 10 green flag laps. It was about 10 overall laps, and we know a few of those were under caution. So we'll have to see how that plays into it, if those 2 tires work out for Jericho and Laura Chung, or if that was just once again a bad strategy call. That's that's interesting for Honor Island Motorsports that that's happening as of late. Torres last race and then this race, and now Laura Chung, kind of the same story. But here we go, Vision Motorsports, Matthew Hubert's team wants the lead. Max Davis has not yet won this season. To the inside teammate Matt Tuck off turn number 4. Both these guys have not yet won this season. They want their wins to get into the All-Star race, and Max Davis leads the 16th lap in car number 16 here at Vermont. He'll take it from teammate Matt Tuck into turns 1 and 2.
We'll have to see what these guys can do battling each other here, if it'll allow the 3rd and 4th place guys. The Stapleton's going to make a move down to the inside off of turn 2. He's going to use, I guess you can call that the apron, right?
Yep.
The tri-oval?
Yeah, I don't know. Can you call it the tri-oval if it's on the backstretch? I guess you can, right? It's the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, we're going to call it the tri-oval, and if we're wrong, we're wrong.
Yeah.
He made a move on the tri-oval, but unfortunately it didn't work. As we're battling back here, you can see a little squabble of 4 cars trying to figure out where they want to fit themselves into the line.
That's Brian Rodriguez moving up nicely from his starting spot for Tucson Racing. Gabe Willard just behind him gets a good run by Tyler Belladonna. Jerry Chen lost some spots on the restart, but he's getting them back with Eli Bright right behind him for Mean Motorsports. Basically the last bullet for you guys, as Seaman's still in it, but he's well off the pace, well damaged. Matthew Burnett is obviously out of it. So it's Vision Motorsports still 1-2, and Nathan Stapleton's looking for a way around Riley Spurley-Tube for Evan Hunter's team, EKH Enterprises. Stapleton definitely the guy in the best position for Benny Watson's team, Honor Island Motorsports today, as Philip Torres is out. Laura Chung has played some pit strategy that's dropped her back to 19th place, and behind the likes of Bruno Giacomo, Jack Haas, then her and Jericho cannot get by them as well. They're kind of still stuck back there and stuck back out to the top 15, and Here you can see, even Jericho can't even get by Bruno Diacomo, and that's a car that you don't really expect to be able to hold up a driver like Jericho or Laura Chung, and Diacomo's doing it right now, so it's just showing how important this track position is. You have some very strong race cars that are getting stuck behind this Red Lightning racing car of Bruno Diacomo.
All right, well, I think we're finally starting to settle these guys out, Joe, and it seems like that 2-tire call is kind of working, but it seems like at the same time it's kind of evened out with everyone else now. So is it maybe a long-term thing that will end up being the decider here with those 2-tire calls? Because, I mean, this is the top 3 cars that all did it, and they've all found each other, and they're all kind of just stuck in traffic again.
Yes, they are. They're all stuck behind Bruno Diacomo, nowhere to go. And even Jericho, you know, I would think in a turn 1 he would have a run to the inside, but he just doesn't. He's just staying behind Diacomo for now. Can't find a way to pass. And right there, he's going to cut to the bottom. And that 05 even has some slight damage as well. So it's not like that 05's at 100% at the moment. But he's still doing a great job able to stay in front of these guys with tires and with better race cars. Oh, I thought Jericho was really going to send it in deep there. But Diacomo blocked it off. And once again, these 3 guys, they're on tires. They're saying we need to go, but they can't go.
Yeah, this has got to be very frustrating. There he goes. He finally made the move down to the inside. We'll have to see if he can make it work now and possibly open up a gap for everyone else. Laura Chung looked like she wanted to go, but yeah, Bryce Egan got there before him or before her, and really, you know, kind of cut that off. And now she's still going to be stuck behind the 05.
Yep. Now she is the one that's stuck behind the 05 and can't go anywhere. We'll see if she can try and make that work over the course of the next few laps. Jordan Stout with a good run. Tim Gary. This is the run he needs. I don't want to jinx him by mentioning him, but he's been a wreck magnet. I think it was Eli Bright said Tim Gary's hit basically everything this season. And, you know, he just always finds a way to be around crashes. Most of the time, not his fault. It just happens. It's like he's out there running a Kroger Cup Series Bristol race with every race he's done this season. But he's up in 14th right now, inside the top 15 for Ace Motorsports, and looking for 13th on Tyler Belladonna. Top 10 is in his sights, so if Tim Gary can play this all right, he could get a top 10 here today.
Did you just say it looked like he was in a Kroger Cup Series race?
Kroger Cup Series Bristol race.
Oh,
Very specifically
you know what?
need to mention Bristol.
Yeah, no, that was that's a fair call out as Lathan Strickland's back down pit road to assumably fix some more damage here, as these guys are still all battling it out here. This is interesting. You know, Joe, every time I see them cut the exit of turn 2, I keep thinking something's wrong, but no, it just seems to be the racing line for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know if it's something to do with the less banking on the apron that makes the cars turn better, but look at Nathan Stapleton. He's going to use the outside of Riley Sprint. He was tired on the bottom the last few laps. Now he's saying, all right, let me just go to the top. That seems to be better in 3 and 4. Can he clear Riley by the time they get to turn 1? If he can't, it could be hard, but look, he sent it in deep on the outside, and Stapleton makes the move on the outside of 3 and 4 to get 3rd spot from Riley Spurley Tube.
Well, these guys are still going
Jerry
at it
Chen.
as, he has an issue
slow.
going on right now, Joe.
The points leader is off the pace.
Yeah, by a lot. I don't know if it's a tire issue, engine issue. I don't see any smoke, so it might not be that, but... Or maybe he just had a bad corner exit. I'm not sure.
I'm trying to see who he's around. Oh, he almost hit the wall right there. Did he get into it with someone? Did he cause an accident or something? I mean, yeah, it's interesting.
It looks like he's back up to speed.
Lathan Strickland's in a pit glitch.
That's
did he get held up by Levi Shones, who's down to pit road?
Have to see. You can see the signs for the 19 and the 45 and the 8 also are down, so we'll have to see what they have planned here. As
I have to think that Levi Shones had an issue and held those guys up, because Jerry Chen and all those guys are back going, as the leaders have already caught Justin Zeidel. Look how slow.
Oh, look at the speed differential. Oh, no.
Matt Tuck had nowhere to go but behind the 38. Luckily for him, the 38 is so slow, it's basically impossible not to get around
able to. Yeah, but it's going to cost him a little bit of time there, which is very frustrating if you're the 11, but he should be able to, you would think he'd be able to make it back up if he plays it out right here. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, Justin Zeidel's decided to pit. He's gotten lapped, and he said, all right, maybe enough of that. I don't know what they're going to come down and do with the car, because it's obviously not performance-based. It's a little bit damage-based. Rise Bridge right there lost 2 spots. Keegan Thompson, Jude Martinelli both go around the outside of turns 3 and 4. Gabe Willard there in 7th in a world of his own. And then these guys get held up by, I think, Levi Shones' issue, because Levi was running up around 5th, 6th place when that issue occurred. Now he's down pit road with an issue, has fallen a lap down, but I believe he's gotten back out on the racetrack. Chris Jericho is starting to make those 2 tires work. He got out of the madness behind, got away from, Bruno Diacono and all those guys, got through on the 2 tires, and now here he is. You can see the grip he has through turns 3 and 4. Makes it work on Eli Bright. That's for 9th. His teammate, Brian Rodriguez, right in front for 8th place, and he has a run going even down the front stretch.
All right, we'll have to see as he's going to tuck in right back behind and try to figure out what he wants to do. He might cut the corner. Whoa! 20 missed the corner completely there.
Crown Jr. webbed the racetrack, and Laura Chung's finally gotten by Bruno Diacono, but she's still stuck down 18th. Remember, she was leading this race when she decided to make the move down to pit road, so we'll have to see, if this works out. Obviously, I think the main way to gain on this strategy is you have green flag pit stop start, and then in the middle of them, a caution comes out, and you have guys trapped a lap down while you can stay out longer because you have more fuel. And that's, I think, the only way you can make this work out. Otherwise, I just don't see how these 2 tires, obviously for Jericho, he's getting spots back, but when he pitted, he was around 5th place. He's still not up to 5th place, and he's a good ways, 4.5 seconds behind the race leader, Max Davis. So he needs to get by Rodriguez now, and then maybe they'll stay out longer. They have about, as mentioned, maybe 7, 8, 10 more laps of fuel. Caution comes out if they're staying out longer, and who knows, they can trap guys a lap down, get them on the tail end of the lead lap, and maybe try and win this race that way.
Little 3-wide situation happening behind them here, as it looked like it was the 66. Made a move down to the inside, and oh my goodness, I thought Jack Haas was about to turn him.
Jack Haas did look like he was trying to cut him behind and realized at the last second, I can't get down, and decided to do something different and stay up to the outside.
Yeah. That would have been even worse because he would have right-hooked him right into his teammate, the Tim Gary. I mean, that would have caused a situation I don't think anyone wanted to deal with there.
And, as mentioned, Tim Gary, he's hit enough stuff this season, most of them not to his doing. And he's not going to want to have that happen again today, especially running so strong up around the top 15. Jack Haas not going to look out 3 wide in the Ace Motorsports Chevrolets, and that Toyota for Galway Automotive didn't have quite the strength to make it work quite yet. Laura Chung is coming up onto this group of cars and wondering where she can go to try and get through in that number 79. As Jerry Chen is going for the top 10 on Eli Bright as cars are starting to pit. So here we go. Rodriguez, Gabe Willard are coming down. Martinelli's coming down. And the race leaders are all right here kind of together. Max Davis, Matt Tuck, Nathan Stapleton, and Keegan Thompson, the front 4, within 3/4 of a second of each other. So pit cycles have started, Trey, a little bit later than we were expecting, but that's because of all those cautions we got early on. Yeah,
those caution lap definitely pushed it back a little bit, and we are now getting to that situation. So I'll be curious to see what, someone like the 54, the 18, or the 79 do, as, Joe, this pit entry scares me a little bit.
It's a weird one, but here we go. So most of the leaders have pitted. They're trying to undercut Matt Tuck, so they're going to have probably about a lap better tires on Matt Tuck. He's going to have to let Levi Schultz go. That'll cost him even more time, but Tuck is out there on old tires. Jericho with the 2 tires is going to try and help for a caution, you have to think, along with Bryce Egan. Eli Bright's still out there. Laura Chung is on the same strategy as those guys. They have all these guys that also, I believe, came down the pit lane. So here these guys are leaving, like Martinelli, Gabe Willard, Rodriguez. Stout and Haas are side by side. This is a tight apron as well, so we'll see if one of them lets another go or if they cause an accident. They're actually doing a good job. They did a good job there.
Yeah, very, very well, as we're going to continue to cycle through. Matt Tuck finally comes down pit road here. Your leader going to transfer it off to the next guy. Eli Bright's going to follow him down as well, forfeiting 4th place, as we're still going to cycle on through here. Anyone else coming down? No, it doesn't look like anyone else came down this time.
Here were the guys that led the charge into pit road of the front runners. Max Davis, Keegan Thompson, Stapleton with a slower stop, drops off of those 2. So now we'll see where Davis and Thompson come out in relation to Matt Tuck, who pitted a lap later. But once again, that won't be for the lead quite yet, because Jericho and the guys that took 2 tires under the second caution are still staying out. Here's Matt Tuck getting his 4 tires on the number 11 car. Where does this put him in relation to teammate Max Davis and the number 6 of Keegan Thompson? There goes Tuck. He'll leave his pit stall. Here's Davis and Thompson coming off turn 4 at speed up the front straight.
I think.
Oh boy.
Slower pit exit.
Yeah, it's hard to stand
just because
the apron.
Of the corner.
It's hard to stand the apron, and you need to. That's part of the rules. And Max Davis and Thompson will jump Matt Tuck on pit road. So now Tuck will have a lap fresher tires, but Davis is back to the lead. Thompson with them in second. And this was a really good stop for Thompson. He came in 4th. He's going to leave second of the guys that have pitted so far under green.
Yeah, so the thing Tuck does not want to do is overdrive his car right now, trying to stay with these guys. Just let his car tires warm up the way they need to, and he can make it up in the long run, right? So We'll have to see what he can do. But right now, Tuck went from the lead down to third place.
And as this is all kind of cycled through, there's only 9 cars on the lead lap as they run. None of them are guys that have made green flag pit stops. So these 9 cars are going to go as long as they can on these 2 tires. They have the fuel to do it, and they're going to actually, Laura Chung has passed Bryce Egan to be the second of those guys on the strategy, but they're hoping for a caution flag to come out, because if that happens, they get a free pit stop, come under the yellow flag, as Keegan Thompson is trying to be the highest of the guys that have come down pit road, trying to get by Max Davis before they catch Cam Wright Jr. off turn 2.
I think he probably timed it as well as he could have right there.
That was perfect for Keegan Thompson right there.
Yeah, look, he's going to use it as a pick, too. This is going to allow Matt Tuck to catch back up as well.
Yep, Matt Tuck's going to get a few tenths here and there because of Cam Wright Jr., then moves out of the way for Matt Tuck. So that worked for him. Now they catch Chris Keselowski, who's out there on older tires.
Oh, my goodness.
These are the guys that have not yet pitted, Trey.
Goodness.
Look at how much the tires mean. Look at Matt Tuck.
He's going to make a 3-wide move to the bottom, pass his teammate off of that.
Wow. He needed to do that.
And then some. He's going to catch Keegan Thompson.
Yeah, Keegan's stuck behind.
He's going to pass Tiki. He's going to pass him.
Keegan's going to look around the outside for Hernandez. Matt Tuck, does he look to the inside for Hernandez to go 3 wide around the 35? This is what old tires does. Oh, my goodness. They're almost crashing. Hernandez is pitting.
Oh.
This is the battle for what should be the lead if this pit cycle cycles through. Matt Tuck and Keegan Thompson.
Wow. So much happened right there.
And Max
Tuck
Davis
went from third to first.
And Max Davis
essentially
is way gone as Jericho has pitted. That leaves Laura Chung with the lead now. Bryce Egan with her, but once again, they have to make a pit stop at some point. So a lot of the drivers have started to make the moves. Here comes, I believe, Chung and Egan are both going to come in, and now it might cycle around to Matt Tuck in the number 11 car once everyone else comes down pit road.
All right. Well, a lot just happened there, Joe, in a short amount of time.
Look at this. They're all still stacked up back here.
Yeah. They're still trying to figure out what they want to do.
Yep, and obviously there's a lot going on. We have to wait for everything. Alex Sanvitalia stayed out, so the 09 is the leader. And we'll see where that 09 comes in. Obviously in this group of cars. Might be able to duck in right here if he wants to. But he stayed out. I believe he's one of the only ones, if not the only one, to stay out. So here comes Sanvitalia. Looks like he'll make the move to pit road. Tim Gary and Eli Bright going to be about with Riley Spiritu there. So this should leave the field in the hands of now Matt Tuck in the number 11 car.
Right. So everyone's going to cycle back around here. We're going to get our true standings now at this point to see where everyone's at. As Team Matt Tuck is just pulling away from Keegan Thompson there, Joe. He's got a fast car underneath him right now, and he got that lead in that clean air. And it's going to be hard for him to look back, as I don't know if Keegan Thompson really has anything for him at the moment in time, and especially given that Matt Tuck's going to have the freshest tires come near the end of this race as well.
I was going to say, not only does he have a fast car and determination, but he has a lap fresher tires than Keegan Thompson, who came down pit road right before him. So Matt Tuck crosses the line, and now he's cycled back to the lead. He's .888 in front of Keegan Thompson. How that worked out, I don't know. But then they have 2.7 back to Max Davis. Nathan Stapleton's up to 4th in the 75. Gabe Willard going for 5th on Jude Martinelli. So some good runs here. This is the battle, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Rodriguez is now 7th.
Picks too, Joe.
Yeah, our picks are right near each other. Just like last race in New Hampshire. They they were right near each other pretty much all race long. Here they are again. They've been near each other pretty much the whole race. But they're actually catching Max Davis for 3rd, it looks like, as well. That 16 not quite as strong after the pit stop. Gabe Willard's going to get 5th from Jude Martinelli, who's back to 6th. Rodriguez is now 7th. Jordan Stout is in 8th. Jack Haas is 9th, and Jerry Chen, the points leader. A quiet day, but currently up in 10th, going for 9th on Haas. Eli Bright is currently 11th. Tim Gary 12th. Riley Spurgeon 13th. Crown Jr. 14th. DeLello is 15th. Jericho, the strategy dropped him down to 16th because they didn't get that caution flag. Stayed out longer. They lost ground. Now they have the fresher tires by a little bit. They're going to try and use them to get by whatever cars they can in these final 15 or so laps. There's Belladonna in 17th. Laura Chung's down in 18th. It's just been a bad day for her, mostly because of that strategy. Bryce Egan 19th. And Lathan Strickland on the pit glitch. Cam Wright Jr. is in 20th, last car there. Hernandez right behind him, trying to get inside the top 20. And all the way down, Williams Newman, last car on the lead lap with Robert Ashford, and Matt Tuck is starting to catch up to them. But Keegan Thompson has really fallen off. I don't know if he pushed his car too hard, trying to get through lap traffic and trying to get by, Max Davis and then Matt Tuck. But he is now falling back to Max Davis, and he went from 0.8 of a second back to now over 2 seconds back of Matt Tuck. He lost 4 tenths in that one lap, Trey.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him right now, but he is definitely struggling. Maybe he dropped a cylinder. Maybe he just used up all his stuff, as these guys back here are still trying to figure out where they all want to finish at in this race. As Jerry Chen, who we thought had a problem earlier, really must have been just gotten into a car, and he's going to make a move down to the inside of Eli Bright, trying to get multiple spots here. Looks like he might do it. I don't know what he was doing there.
I don't know if he was trying to, like, gouge Stout out of the way and say, all right, this is my spot. But up in front of this, Stapleton and Willard, let's get our picks, are going to move by Max Davis to go to 3rd and 4th place. So Stapleton and Willard have some fast cars. This is carbon copy of what happened to Nathan Stapleton last race at New Hampshire. He had such a strong car late. I said probably had the best car at the end of the race, but had fallen way too far behind the race leader, Laura Chung. He was passing cars left and right, but he was so far back it didn't matter, right? He was basically stuck in those positions, didn't have a shot to win the race. Well, now, once again, I think he has one of the faster cars out here. The problem is, you know, he might get to 2nd place, but Matt Tuck is 3 seconds up the road, and with 10 laps to go, I don't know if he can gain 3 seconds unless Matt Tuck gets caught in lap traffic and has some major issues. I mean, that 6 car is so slow, Stapleton's going to easily dispose of him, but he has way too much time to make up at this stage.
It looks like Keegan Thompson's essentially just on manage mode and try to finish in the best spot he can with how fast he's dropping. It is not going to be a fun time for him, but Stapleton's going to, like you mentioned, pass him with pretty much ease as we're looking 3. Oh, my goodness.
Those are 2 front runners in points, Rodriguez and Jerry Chen. Is our temper starting to boil over between some of our front runners in the championship?
I don't know, but Rodriguez just almost got absolutely dumped there on corner exit. Eli Bright, please get away from that as quickly as you can, because we don't need another car involved in a wreck here, and these guys are still right near each other.
And Eli Bright's going to try and use the outside of 3 and 4 right here to his advantage. We've seen how good that's. Tim Gary's getting aggressive with the points leader, Jerry Chen. He's saying, I need some spots here as well. I don't know how Eli got ahead of all these guys. He was, what, 10th place? Now he's 7th. As here comes Chen looking out on Rodriguez and Eli Bright. 3 wide up the front straight. As Stapleton and Willard have cleared. Keegan Thompson is now under fire.
Oh, he sent it.
Was close. Jerry Chen aggressive to the bottom. He gets 2 spots and 1 up to 7th for the points leader, Jerry Chen. And now Jordan Stout wants some more spots down to the bottom. What a good day it's been for Ace Motorsports. 2 cars inside the top 10 as they run.
Yeah, they're definitely showing up and showing out right now, Joe, and they're doing everything they can as long as they don't get involved into an incident here with how close they're racing with each other. So far, so good. And Jack Haas is trying to make himself, he looks like he's looking middle 3.
Jack Haas is back in 12th place right now, so he wants the top 10 that's just in front of him. In fact, it's one of those 2 Ace Motorsports cars that holds it. Depends on what part of the lap it is, then one of them holds it, or the other one might hold it. Ryan Spritz gaining on this as well in 13th. Jericho has fresher tires. He's really starting to move into these guys. He's hoping they keep battling because he can maybe steal a top 10 out of it. He's currently in 14th place. Look at this. This is insane. They are 3 wide. This is for 9th, 10th, and 11th,
goodness.
and Brian Rodriguez can be the big loser.
Oh.
He almost got the wall off 4.
Yeah, it looked like he made contact. I think he stayed off of it, which is what he needed to do, but yeah, it looked like that would have been not good at all. But this group right here, Joe, looks like they're racing for the win with how aggressive they're being.
And look, I just saw a speck of green coming in at the right side of the screen. That's Chris Jericho's splitter that we saw. There it is, that number 54. He's on fresher tires, and he has 6 laps to try and get by these guys and get a top 10 spot. Look at Jericho can really hug the bottom because he has a little bit more grip on the fresher tires, and working for him right now. He's going to get by Jack Haas, and the top 10 is his teammate right now. In fact, no, it's actually Jordan Stout because Stout's just moved around Brian Rodriguez. He's going to take it 3 wide on Spurley and Haas. So there go a few spots. That's going to be 12th place for Jericho. 11th is his teammate Rodriguez. And then Stout in 10th, Tim Gary in 9th up the road. 5 laps to go. Matt Tuck is all by himself out front. 4.2 seconds is the gap. Back to Nathan Stapleton, and then Gabe Willard right there as well. Keegan Thompson fending off Max Davis for now, as Jericho can't get by his teammate Rodriguez, and now might be under fire from Riley Spurgeon as well. This is a big battle for positions just outside the top 10. Now 4 laps to go for Matt Tuck, as Jericho will get by teammate Rodriguez. He's going to now try and catch the 2 Ace Motorsports Chevrolets. Eli Bright, quiet day in 8th place from number 88. That's what he wants. Jerry Chen getting by Jude Martinelli. That's for 6th place. So a good day for the points leader. Should be able to extend the points lead over Laura Chung, who had a pretty bad result here today. Stapleton still holding 2nd. Gabe Willard dropping back to Keegan Thompson. So I don't know what happened with the 6, but now he's starting to keep pace a little bit better as he was able to stay in front of Max Davis and now keep in touch with Willard and Stapleton. So there was obviously some sort of weird issue with Keegan Thompson for a little bit there, but it's all Matt Tuck's at the moment. He's gotten through lap traffic pretty cleanly. He has 5 seconds in hand over Stapleton's, looking just like last race, except it's not Laura Chung this time. It's Matt Tuck looking for his first win in the DeWalt Cup Series.
Well, Joe, I think. Oh, there goes Lathan again. He's just having his own little day. But this guy went from being very upset beginning of the season with, well, believe it or not, his teammate after being turned multiple times by the same guy, and now he's finally turned it around. Joe, like you mentioned, he led his first laps couple races ago, something like that, and now he's looking at the eyes of victory here within a couple of them. As long as nothing goes heinous here, as we wouldn't be surprised if that was the case.
I know. You never do know what could happen. But here comes Matt Tuck, 5 seconds in hand over Nathan Stapleton. He's going to take the white flag. That's a big surrender for the rest of the field. 1 lap, 1.5 miles to go for Matt Tuck to win his first race of the DeWalt Cup Series season. It's been a struggling season up to this point, but a win today gets him into the All-Star race next week, and who knows, if he wins that one, he's automatically in the chase no matter what happens for the rest of the regular season. Down the backstretch for the final time for Matt Tuck. It's been a perfect day for him, and he drove his car very, very hard after pit stops to gain the spots back. He's going to make it work as he comes through turns 3 and 4. Matt Tuck off of 4. It's going to be Vision Motorsports' 3rd win of the season. Matt Tuck's 1st of the season as he wins here at Vermont. And now we wait.
Look at the distance. Yeah, look at the distance.
Stapleton,
there they are.
Willard. Look at Jerry Chen. He almost got to the top 5 at the end. Ooh.
I don't know. Wow. All right, we're good.
Wow.
But yeah, that was Joe, a show of dominance there. We were a little nervous after the pit stops there with him falling down to 3rd place, whether or not he'd be able to catch it. Lap cars came into his favor there, and he was able to make some great moves to get past 3rd and then 2nd place. And then Joe, he never looked back ever since, and grew a humongous lead.
I think what this has shown is Vision Motorsports is starting to become something like Otter Island Motorsports, right? Where they can win anywhere at any time and with any driver as well. And they're showing it. They're taking it to Otter Island right now. They had 2 cars finish inside the top 5. Their 3rd guy did pretty decently. Laura Chung, kind of struggled today. Nathan Stapleton got a top 5. Philip Torres retired. This could be really big for Matthew Hubert, Vision Motorsports, in terms of the team standings, on top of just driver standings as well for their drivers.
Yeah, that's they're slowly starting to hit their stride here, Joe, and that's going to be another team we're going to look out for come near the end of the season. But right now, they're just gonna bask in their glory and continue to rack up as many wins as they can. As you can see, everyone else coming down. Laura Chung went from a good day to, I don't even know where she finished. I don't know if it turned out really well or not.
Yeah, I think it was around 15th or so. Definitely could have been a lot better, but that's just, she played some strategy, trying to get some unique track position that way. And maybe she thought she just didn't have the best car, and that's why she had to play that pit strategy. I don't know what the reason was, but they tried the strategy. It didn't work out for her or Jericho or Bryce Egan, and the end result was a not-so-great day for the driver of the number 79. I do want to bring up, though, on the that final run, just how weird some circumstances were in terms of some drivers falling at points, and at the end of the race especially, Jericho on the fresher tires was really starting to move through the field and gain some spots, but you had some drivers like Judy Martinelli. He really started to drop off a cliff a little bit. He was one of the first guys that pitted. We saw Keegan Thompson, how fast he had dropped, and then he kind of plateaued and stayed, while Jerry Chen was starting to move through the field. Eli Bright was starting to move through the field. So it was kind of an interesting final run trade where we saw a lot of comers and goers, even though there wasn't all that much variation with when people pitted.
Yeah, it was unique. I mean, strategies were all throughout the field, and some of them worked out well, some of them didn't, and I think that's the thing we've been waiting for, Joe. It was really a true strategy race, and this one ended up being one, and it was fun to watch.
We've had some great strategy races as of late. Boston with the fuel. Last race in New Hampshire was a superb strategy race with a lot of different stuff going on. Here today, Vermont was pretty much the same and basically ended in the same way with a big distance in terms of the lead at the end of the race with Matt Tuck winning. We'll quickly go take a look at the finishing results for the 12th race of the season from Vermont. So here's the top 10 finishers from Vermont. Matt Tuck with the win. As mentioned, dominant performance, leading the most laps. Drove that car very, very hard at the end to get it done. Nathan Stapleton tried his best, but once again will come up just a little bit short in 2nd place, but that solidifies himself inside the top 5 in points. He's in the All-Star race, even though he hasn't yet won a race this season. Gabe Willard ends up in third. Very, very impressive drive for him, and our picks finished right near each other, second and third. Once again, Max Davis ends up in fourth, and he misses the top 5 in points by just 3 points, so he'll have to race his way in through the open if he wants to be in the All-Star race. And top 5 for Keegan Thompson, definitely a very solid race all around, even though he still has not yet led a lap this season. Jerry Chen, the points leader, keeps a good points lead with the 6th place result here today. Jude Martinelli moves up nicely in points. He moved up 5 positions after this one in 7th. Eli Bright just outside the top 10 in points, but he has that one wildcard spot in 8th. Chris Jericho with the 2nd straight top 10 in 9th. And Tim Gary definitely needs something good to happen this season. He gets it with a nice top 10 result for that number 69. His teammate Jordan Stout just behind him in 11th. Raspberry Tube just kind of a mediocre day in 12th. Brian Rodriguez didn't really have it here today as well in 13th. Jack Haas and Laura Chung under a different strategy gets a top 15, but nothing more. Crown Jr., Bryce Egan, DeLello, Belladonna, and Cam Wright Jr. are the guys that finish out the top 20. Then the last few cars on the lead lap. Stan Vitale 21st did get to lead a lap today under pit stops. Then Anthony Hernandez and Chris Keselowski finished on the lead lap. It was a lap down for Giacomo, Ashford, Seaman, Charette, Miller, and Shones. Levi Shones with his mechanical issues put him onto pit road early, never could recover. He gets 29th, and now he's out of, at the moment, of that second wildcard position. And then Zidell finished 2 laps down, obviously well off the pace. Lathan Strickland stuck in a pit glitch, ends up in 31st. And then all these guys down here were out. Tegan Fox, Drew Webb, Matthew Burnett, Philip Torres from pole all the way down to Gutierrez and Wilson, the last 2 guys to finish this race in 41st and 42nd. Now we look at the point standings. We're now halfway through the regular season. 12 races in, 12 races to go in the regular season. It's Jerry Chen still in the points lead, but his points gap 9 points over a driver who's not yet won this season. Nathan Stapleton has 6 top 5s in 12 races, the most of anyone this season. Stapleton is second in points, 9 points back. Laura Chung drops to third, but she's still 11 points back. Rodriguez down to fourth, but still only 16 points back. And Jack Haas stays just barely inside the top 5 over Max Davis, who's 3 points out. We'll have to race through the All-Star Open. Raspberry is still in 7th. Bryce Egan, his 2 wins, is still in 8th. Gabe Willard 9th, and Keegan Thompson up inside the top 10 in points. He has 5 top 5s. Those are his 5 top 10s as well, but still has not yet led a lap this season. So Keegan's been strong, just hasn't had the race-winning pace. Eli Bright currently holds the first wildcard spot, 11th in points with his victory, 3 points outside the top 10, so he could easily jump up in there as well. The second wildcard spot, you have to go all the way down to 21st in points. That's Matt Tuck. His win today jumps him up to 21st, 1 point behind the top 20. Remember, you have to be top 25 in points to use those wins for a wildcard spot, so he currently has it. Levi Shones drops out of the wildcard spot down to 24th in points, but he's still close enough to put up a fight with Matt Tuck, and who knows, another win that then jumps you up. It's amount of wins that precedes points, and then if 2 drivers have tied with the same amount of wins, then points break that tiebreaker. So still drivers like Crown Jr., Lathan Strickland, Drew Martinelli, Philip Torres that are close enough to the top 10. Even down below that, Charette and DeLello, Miller and Burnett and Zidell, so close. It's just tightening up with how the days are going in terms of points. It's going to be an exciting second half of the regular season. Now we look at the team points. Otter Island still holds the lead, but Vision Motorsports has closed in a little bit. Tucson Racing still right there. EKH Enterprises inside the top 5 with Southern Cross Racing. They're in a good battle with Galway Automotive in 6th as well. Full Autosport kind of in a world of their own in 7th, trying to catch up to the front 6. You, Trey, your team, Me Motorsports, is definitely in a world of your own, about 80 or so points behind the guys in front, and you have about 100 points more than that over the guys behind. Ace Motorsports, Red Lightning Racing round out the top 10, then the rest of the teams on down. Atlanta Motorsports down to OSC Racing. So Trey, final thoughts from Vermont. It was a crazy race to start. We got caution free to the end there, and we saw a long green flag run with Matt Tuck finally getting through into victory lane for Vision Motorsports here in 2025.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun race to watch all play out there with different strategy coming into play. There was a incident that took out almost a quarter of the field, right? I mean, that was I don't think we expected that there to happen, but it did. And then we had a winner who has definitely had an up and down season, but finally he's on top of it. So we'll have to see how long he can ride that wave until everything that goes up must come down, right? So we'll have to see what all happens there. So very, very fun, very good race.
Yep, and we'll hope this trend of good races continues on, because next time out is the All-Star race, the All-Star Open, and That's going to be a fun one. That's going to be an important one for someone's season in terms of knowing they're locked into the chase earlier than anyone will know. That's next time out. That's going to be next Sunday night. So it'll be 8 p.m. Eastern for the All-Star Open at South Boston, a short track that's could provide some short track tempers with what's on the line next time out. So the All-Star Open, top 3 finishers there move on to the All-Star Race, which will be held at 9 p.m. Eastern also on Sunday. And then 2 weeks' time on Monday, back road course racing, but outside the country in Montreal. That's going to be a fun one to see how these drivers and teams adjust to that. We saw last time an underdog winner at a road course, Anthony Hernandez for Atlanta Motorsports. Will something like that happen again, or will the top teams able to rise to the occasion at Montreal in 2 weeks' time? So All-Star Race next time, short track racing from South Boston. We'll see how that goes. But today, we congratulate Matthew Hubert, his team Vision Motorsports, and the driver Matt Tuck for winning the 12th race of the season, the 10th different winner in 12 races as Tuck gets it done the Old Spice 400. For Trey Bardo, I'm Joe Rakowski. So long from Vermont.